Hey everyone, thanks for joining today. This is Janet Hearn with Future Ready Consulting. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes to see if we get some more people into our webinar today. It is being recorded as well as going live. I want to thank you for joining today. My hope is that you can make better business decisions with analytics after this webinar. I would love for everyone to put in the comments that what your business is and things like that. We have Renee on. Thanks, Renee, for coming. And if other people want to call out their business or just say hi, feel free to do that in the comments. You can do that on StreamYard or you can do it in Google as long as you're logged in to your Google account. And I want you to put questions as much as we can so that we can address everybody's thoughts and concerns today. So hello, everybody. Gonna wait just a couple more minutes. I hope everyone can hear me. That would be helpful in the comments as well. If you just want to pop in a comment and saying sound great or anything else if it doesn't sound great. I'm definitely excited to be back with you today. A little louder. Thank you so much, Renee. Let's see if we can get myself a little louder here. A little louder. Is that any better? A little better? We'll see if that helps and I can speak up a little bit. Oh, excellent. All right. Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. All right. Well, as I said, feel free to put questions and things in the comments. We do have a lot to cover, and I want to leave some time at the end for questions that you may have. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. Let me just adjust my mic a little bit more so it stays a good loudness for everybody. All right, today we are doing Make Better Business Decisions with Analytics, and I'm glad you're here. This is sponsored by Grow with Google, as well as Main Street America, Heritage Ohio, Downtown Middletown, Inc., and of course, your Main Street. Thank you, Renee, for getting this set up. Today we're going to discuss how you can make more strategic business decisions with insights from Google Analytics. All right, let's get started. A little bit about myself quickly. My name again is Janet Hearn. I currently reside in Wyoming, Ohio, and I grew up in a small town in Marion, Ohio. I believe in small business. I own a small business now. I spent over 30 years in higher education, and now I run Future Ready Consulting, where we support individuals and organizations to help start or scale their business so that you can be more financially free and enjoy the work that you do. So way to go, small business. I hope this helps everyone. If you want to ask me any questions later or reach me, you can do so at janet@futurereadyconsulting.org. You can go to our website or you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/@futurereadyconsulting, and there you will find these recordings, all the places we've been around Ohio, as well as some of the tips and tricks I give small business owners. So feel free to check that out. I hope you find some value in it. All righty, here we go. Data. Niall Fitzgerald, the former chairman of Unilever, said, "Data makes our briefcase heavy, and insights make you rich." So we have this new era of big data, and we have access to a lot of solid information about customer groups, who they are, how they respond to our advertising and our websites and our media campaigns. But just having a bunch of data dropped on top of your head doesn't help you necessarily in your everyday work. So there has to be a way to manage all of that data. And fortunately, Google has one of the top free tools, and that is Google Analytics. And I will tell you, you can get other data management tools, but they will cost you a lot of money. So Google Analytics is free, and you can use it to run your small business and get insights into your customers' behavior. So we want to try and make this as accessible as possible, and let's see how you can get started with Google Analytics. So data can tell a story. How many visitors you have on your site isn't the whole story. And in fact, that can be a little depressing, right? You look at that number and you're like, oh no. But that number by itself does not tell the story. It doesn't tell you where they're from. It doesn't tell you how they got there. And it doesn't tell you, what is the most interesting piece about your product or service that they know of. And you don't know what sparks their curiosity. So that's why it's important that we look at data as a story. Did you see a sales bump last month? But great. What supported that? How did that happen? Or did visits to your website take a dive? That makes you sad, right? I look at YouTube numbers. How many people have viewed my YouTube channel? And sometimes it's a handful. But what I have to realize is I presented to maybe 100 people. If you did that in person, you'd be really excited and impressed with yourself, right? You'd be like, darn, I did pretty well. But when you look at it in YouTube perspective, not so much. You have to look at it to tell your story. You can't look at single numbers, okay? So we're going to go past the single number data point. So what are we doing today? Today, we are going to get an intro to Google Analytics. We're going to help you understand your account. We're going to talk about the Google Analytics search box because it's super powerful. It incorporates AI to help you get your answers more quickly. We're going to see how you can use Google Analytics with Google Ads if you're interested in Google Ads. And I know Renee said some of you may be interested in using Google Ads. And if that is the case, then we could potentially do another training around Google Ads. And then we'll do a little recap for you as we get done. So we'll start off with an intro to Google Analytics, how you can set it up, who would use it. And we're going to look at it through the eyes of two entrepreneurs. We're going to look at it through the eyes of Eva and Ricky. All right, so we'll get started with Eva and Ricky. And let me try to move my picture there a little so you can see the whole slide. There we go. There we go. All right. Hopefully that helps you out. I'll tell you why you need that link in 1 second. So Eva and Ricky, they create and design beautiful clothing. They started out by selling their products at a pop-up shop, farmers market, and other local venues, and they started to build a loyal customer base. This may be a story you're familiar with. You may know someone that started their business this way, or maybe it's you. Based on their success, they decided they wanted to expand their business and sell their products to more people, to more places via an online store. So Eva and Ricky are kind of like most of us. They made their big business decisions initially by gut instinct or customer feedback that they got, like on Google reviews or something like that. We all kind of do that, right? And that's important to follow your instincts and your experience if you've done this for a while. But they realized that selling online gave them an opportunity to grow beyond their local loyal customers and expand. But they had to be smart, because if you make mistakes in scale, as we all know, that can cause problems and financial issues. So throughout this workshop, we're going to show how Eva and Ricky used Google Analytics to make that their next step and grow their business, and how they used the reports to answer some questions. And while we're doing that, think about questions you have and how you could learn the answers to those questions through Google Analytics. And a side note, there is a Google Analytics demo account, and the screenshots you're going to see in this presentation are from that demo account. You can actually access the Google Analytics demo account, which is pretty cool. I've done it. It's when I took the Google Analytics class, I used that. So that's why I put the link up there. If you go to support.google.com/analytics and then search for demo account, you can actually fire up a demo account and you can do whatever you want in that demo account. So if you're just learning Google Analytics and you are afraid you're going to break your stuff, which you won't, but if you're afraid you will, then you can go in there and you can actually play around with the data, run reports, cut the data in different ways, and practice some of the things we're going to talk about and not hurt your data. So I wanted to share that link with you in case you felt like doing that. Has anyone out there ever played with the demo analytics account, Google Analytics? First of all, tell me in the comments quickly, if you've used Google Analytics or not, and have you played with the demo account? So go ahead and throw up a comment if you don't mind, so I can kind of get an idea. All right, we have one person that has not used it, and another person that's used it some. Awesome, thank you. Thank you for sharing, Renee and Kathleen. Appreciate that. All right, so we have people at different places, and that's okay. That's great. This is the perfect training for that. All right, so gut instinct versus data-driven decisions. Eva and Ricky knew their face-to-face customers loved fashion with authentic designs, but they didn't know why some of their popular local designs weren't selling online, so they started using Google Analytics. So sometimes when you're talking to people and you get that immediate feedback at, a farmer's market or a pop-up shop, your gut can run the show because they like this, they didn't like this, we'll change this. But when you're online, people are going and looking at your designs and looking at your website and looking at your social media, and you're getting no feedback, at least not that you can see right away. But you are getting feedback with Google Analytics. So that's why you set that up, so that you can help get that feedback that you're missing from the in-person things online, because you may decide that if something's not selling, you should just discontinue it and forget about it. Cut the price, take a loss, run for the hills, right? But if you look at it, you might find out there were people clustered in a certain location or a certain demographic that did like that design. So could you increase your marketing and advertising to that demographic or that locale and increase the sales? Potentially you could, but if you don't know where that group is or what they liked or didn't like, it's really hard to do that. Let's talk about SMART goals, because really having that data story without goals is not very helpful. So the first thing that Eva and Ricky did was create some SMART goals. A SMART goal is specific. Make more sales calls, make 10 sales calls. You don't want to say increase website visits. You want to say increase website visits by 10%. And I would add, you want to say increase it by 10% by doing this action, because you can't control what your potential customers are going to do. You can control what you're going to do. So instead of saying make more sales calls, say make 10 sales calls this week or today. That is something you can control. And invariably, if you make more sales calls, you should sell more. But you control making the calls. You don't control increasing sales. So we want to make it specific. We want to make it measurable. That's where the 10 sales calls comes in. You can't really track your progress and your success unless you say a specific percentage or a number and make it measurable. You also want to make it attainable. We don't want to have some goal that is, it didn't say increase, make 100 sales, go from 0 sales calls a week to 100 sales calls a week. Well, let's make it 10. And then if we attain that, then next time we can make it 20 and make it attainable. Otherwise, you're going to get discouraged. You also want to make it relevant. The why of the goal. Why is this outcome valuable to my business? How does it support the business? If you say, I'm going to post 10 social media posts this week. That's a good start. It's attainable. It's measurable. It's fairly specific. But what's the relevance? Are you going to make 10 posts about your new sales product items? Are you going to, what is the point and relevance of why you're doing it? And if you can answer that question and it'll impact the business in a positive way, then do it. Go for it. Time bound is also important. You want your goal to have a deadline. So increase, make 10 sales calls a week. Don't just say make 10 sales calls, because that's, who knows when that'll happen and get done. So by setting these SMART goals, Eva and Ricky outline a clear idea of what they want to happen and avoid getting sidetracked, squirrels, as I like to say, chasing other things, and focusing on just those SMART goals and efforts. All right, any questions about SMART goals? I really believe in SMART goals. I think you can go out there and make your SMART goals on a quarterly basis, and they should feed your yearly goals. But having those quarterly goals, at least for me, really helps me keep on track, and I do that each quarter. Often I start at the beginning of the year, and I make my overall business goals. Then I set first quarter and second quarter goals, maybe a couple things in third and fourth, but then as I fold over into the new quarters, I add some goals. All right, I don't see any questions popping up. Again, feel free to interrupt. I'm watching the comments. All right. So let's look at Eva and Ricky's business goals. So they set a goal to increase visitors by 10% from 3 target cities in the next quarter. All right. Again, I would add by doing what? Like, what actions are you going to do to increase those sales or visitors? And they do have some of that here. They're going to focus their social media and advertising in those 3 cities. They're going to use city-themed designs so it appeals to the people in those cities. And they're going to monitor their progress with Google Analytics. So they do some market research and they decide to try and build it in these 3 metropolitan cities. Their website doesn't get a lot of visitors from these areas, so they develop some SMART goals around it. And then they develop marketing campaigns, and then they regularly, throughout the quarter, reviewed Google Analytics to see if their goals were being met. And then they could fine-tune the strategy throughout the quarter. You don't want to just set off, throw some social out there and wait. You want to keep visiting to see if you can tweak your strategy to increase your goals. How'd they do? Well, I'm going to make you wait for that a little bit farther down in the presentation. All right. So what are your goals? What are the goals of the people here today for your business. I'd love to hear. So if you could write in the comments your goals, let's talk about what some of those can be. Increasing sales is a common goal, but you actually want to break that down into smaller bite-sized pieces because that is a really big thing and you don't control all the parts of that. So you want to break that down into steps along the customer journey. So maybe you look at and you say, I don't have enough leads. I want to get more leads. Or you maybe want to increase phone calls to the business. You want to see more people call and ask questions, make orders. Maybe you want people to schedule more appointments with you if you have a service business. Maybe you want more foot traffic in a brick and mortar. Or increase downloads if you sell some free things, printables, ebooks, designs, plans. You want to see more downloads. There's lots of different ways you can break this down. So think about your customer journey through that sales funnel, and think about what kind of goals you'd have. If anyone's brave enough out there to post for us, and I would love for you to do that. And I won't say your name. I'll just say what the goals are. If that it would feel better to people. I don't know. What are you interested in having as a goal for your business? And you may not have a website. That's okay. But think about the path they take to learn about you or your service and get to you. All right. Thank you for responding. So we have one response: increase in donors and members. So an increase in donors and members. So you may want to think about how do they interact with you? How do they learn about you? And how could you impact that? If it's through the website, how could you increase website traffic for that? Maybe increase in members. What do members need to know and understand in order to commit? And could that be something that drives membership? So does that mean an edit to the website, which then you will monitor on Google Analytics to see if people spend more time on the website or if people more often click the membership button? So those are some things that would tell you if your changes or your strategies are working. Thank you so much for being willing to share that. All right, what exactly is Google Analytics? It is a free of charge online tool that you can use to understand behavior on your website or a mobile app. So free online tool to understand behavior on your website and your mobile app. If you are in this and you don't have a website yet, there is data available on Facebook or the other social media apps. And Google Business Profile is the first place to start and set that up. And I know a lot of you have done that since I've visited you before, and we've talked about that. If that is your main source of traffic, Google Business Profile, they have reports on Google Business Profile that you can look at to where you can get good information about what people are doing and if some of your posts are generating some increased traffic. So you can use that instead. So Google Analytics can help you understand visitor behavior and what actions they take. It can tell you how they got to your website. So did they come through social media? Did they come through search? If you're running ads, did they come through ads? It tracks and records conversions on your site that users take, such as do they make a purchase? Do they click the donor button? Do they click the membership button? All that can be tracked in Google Analytics. All right. Why should you use it? Why should we take the time to set all this up? It will help you understand what your website visitors are like and how they behave. That then could change your advertising. It could change your social media posting. It could change, if you're a brick and mortar, it could change how you decorate the door and the windows. It'll help you learn which marketing strategies are really working and which ones aren't. You're not driving or flying blind and you think, I like that ad. I like that social media post, so I'm sure that's increasing our traffic. Maybe. There's businesses that have invested lots and lots in Facebook ads, Google ads, paid search, other things, thinking that is driving good traffic for them. And when they hook up their analytics and check it out, they find out it's not driving that traffic. It's something completely different that they did not know. So you're putting money and time into something that may not be helping you. So it helps you make better business decisions. Okay, why should we use it? It helps you understand what content your audience is interested in. Maybe you do blog posts. You can see which blog posts are popping and which ones are dead. You can make more of the same. You could create more content that your audience wants. Again, blog posts, picture posting, social media posts, how-to guides. Maybe they like, if you have a product line, maybe they like when you post pictures of how different ways to use that product line. Videos. It helps you evaluate which channels drive the most conversion. So again, whether it's Google search organic, whether it's your social media, whether it's your Google business profile, and it allows you to make focused marketing campaigns and put them in the right spot. Excuse me. So that is what and why we want to look at Google Analytics. All right, so I know some of you are setting Google Analytics up for the first time. Some of you set it up before. Either one is great. You can follow along, or you can just listen and then come back and follow along with the recording. So if you're setting it up for the first time, you want to go to g.co/analytics, and you want to create an account. And you want to say, get started today. If you already have a Google account, use that account. Be logged in already into the browser. I would suggest a Chrome browser, and just log in as your business. So if you use a Gmail with Google Business Profile, or you use a Gmail address with your business, or if you have your own domain, but it's a Gmail domain, then use that. If you don't have a Google business address or a Google address at all, a Gmail address, then you can go to this and sign up and get started. And the first thing you're going to want to do is set up a property in your analytics account. Now, a property is going to be a website that you want to track, a mobile application that you want to track, or a device that you want to track. So you may have a kiosk or a point of sale device that you want to track. Any of those can be tracked with a property. Your Google Analytics account can contain one or more properties. So if you have a website, that's a property. Then you create a new property for a point of sale device, or if you have people download a mobile application. All right, so that's what properties are. So the first thing you want to do is set up a property. Now, this is the confusing piece. In July of 2023, so last year, almost a year ago, Google switched to Google Analytics 4. So if you already had a Google account and you haven't looked at it in a long time, Google Analytics 4 was automatically set up for you on that same account. But it was a basic setup, so you want to go through and check those setups. Look at your reports and things and make sure that everything's set up the way you want. All right. If you are not sure about the switch to Google Analytics 4, you can go to support.google.com/analytics and then check out the topic about migrating to Google Analytics 4. All right. If you go in there and you're going to have, if you've had it set up for a long time, you're going to have Google Analytics, the old Google Analytics data there flowing, but now you've got Google Analytics 4 to take its place. All right, that was a lot. Any questions about setting up your account? I just want to do a little bit of a pulse check here for a second and make sure that I'm not going too fast, or if I'm going too slow, feel free to leave a comment. But that is the point to the setup. Now, does it set up just like that? No, we're going to kind of go in and see what happens as you set up. But the first thing you do is set up a property. And Google Analytics 4 is really nice because it pretty much leads you through, click this, now click this, and all of that to get started. And the critical piece is you have to set up the account in order to collect data. You cannot set up the account today and it's going to look back at your website traffic for the last 6 months. If you didn't have the account set up, there was no data being collected. So the data will be collected from today. If you set up your account 6 months, a year ago, but you haven't seen it since, that's okay, because at least the data was being collected, and now you can go in and look at some of the reports and make sure their goals are right and all of that. But like I said, if you set it up today, I would set it up, get it started collecting data. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least it's collecting data. And then you can tweak things and get to know the account better as you go down the road. If all of this seems completely overwhelming, go look at the demo account and break it first, and then you can go back and set your own up. All right. And of course, people can come back to me later and ask me questions. You can email me. Maybe we have a follow-up session or something, but all will be good. All right, let's get back to it. All right, understanding your account. So when you're in Google Analytics, you're going to see this menu that you see on the left-hand side. You're going to have Home. Home shows the information based on your past behavior in your analytics account. So once you set this up, if you set it up new today, my suggestion is you set it up and you forget about it. Put a thing on your calendar for like a month from now or 2 weeks from now. Go back and look at my analytics account and remember what you used to log in. Don't forget which Google account you used, because there's no data in there for you to really look at or play with. Or you could set it up today and then go play with the demo account and mess around and then come back. But the point is you have to get the data flowing. You can't do anything without data. So you have to set up the account, which will start the data flowing, and then you can worry about that later. So first it's going to show you your past behavior. And you can scroll down this and see more, but this is past behavior at the home screen. It's things you might want to look at quickly, but you can also customize your home screen with things that you'd rather see. If Eva and Ricky want to do a quick check to their website performance, they would go to their home screen. Then you can navigate to other reports and really start to narrow in on some insights. One thing that's really important is the search box at the top. You see a search box up there in the upper, or it's central, right up where search boxes are generally located. So look at that. And that is where Analytics Intelligence is located. And it may make it a lot easier for finding the information you want. And we're going to go back to that in a minute. Okay. All right, so we're just going to go down this menu. So next would be the reports menu. You want to get to know different reports. Again, that's where it's helpful if you go in the demo account and play with that a little bit. And it's when you set this up, it's going to walk you through some code you have to put on your website. It's not hard, but you do have to make sure it's reading the website data that you want it to read. But it'll walk you through that. Okay, that's so specialized that we're not going to cover that today, but it will tell you, take this snippet. It'll even ask, do you have your website in Wix, or do you have it wherever you have it, Shopify, and it'll tell you how to start collecting data off of those sites. All right, so you're going to go to reports, and you can customize this again so you see the info that you most often want to see. So you should poke around reports and see what those look like. You can go in the demo account and give those a look-see. So Eva and Ricky might want to look under the lifecycle collection to access the engagement topic, which would have an overview report plus detailed reports like conversions and things like that. And there's a lot of collections, topics, and reports found in Google Analytics. So we're going to highlight a few of these to kind of get you started. All right, let's go on. There are filters in Google Analytics for your reports. So you can select a date range. So you may want to just look at a week's worth of data, a month's worth of data, the entire year to date, or the lifetime of the account. You can customize the filters, all right, to just narrow things down to just what you want to look at. This is really powerful. You can compare sets of data, such as visitors this month versus last month, this year versus last year. And that's so helpful because if you made a change, let's say May 1st, you put up a new website design or you changed the homepage, you want to see a comparison of this month to last month. Or if you ran a sale online, you want to look at the time the sale was on versus the time there was no sale and see what happens there. Maybe you changed a color scheme, maybe you changed a theme, but you want to be able to compare time periods. And keep in mind, the numbers in Google Analytics may not be absolutely exact, but they're accurate enough to give you solid understanding and monitor trends. And what does that mean? Well, if you go visit your site a bunch, some of that data may get filtered in with the shopper's data. So you're not looking at an individual person, you're looking at group behavior. All right, group behavior. All right, so those are some of the things that you can drill down to in the reports so that you could customize these reports really easily. They're drop downs, they're very easy to do. All right, now that is looking at past data. You can also look at real-time data. What is happening this moment? Okay. Actual real-time data of who is on your website right now, who was on in the last 30 minutes. That helps you monitor immediate effects on your site traffic and determine if a promotion or sale or whatever drives traffic. Maybe you're doing a presentation such as this, and you leave a QR code up. I could have somebody watching my Google Analytics, and if that QR code goes up for my website, does a bunch of traffic start coming to the website in real time based on the fact that I just put up that QR code. It will tell you what's happening in the last 30 minutes, where they're coming from, whether they're coming back or this is a new audience, whether they're converting, doing the actions you want them to do. And so you can really monitor in close proximity to putting up new social media posts, blog posts. Ricky and Eva might want to use real time to gauge the impact of a live media event, like I was saying. If they're doing a live media event, do they get more traffic to their website? Do they get more conversions? Do they get what's happening real time? Now, I would caution you because real-time data can be deflating. If you're expecting immediate activity, you may not run a business that supports immediate activity. It may be a business that They saw your thing, they collected cards, or they collected your information, and in a week they go hit your website. So that real-time information would be saddening to you, but then you see an uptick over the next couple weeks. That could still be due to that event that was run. Okay. All right. The next thing you can look at is acquisition. Where did the customer come from? And we're moving down again that left-hand menu in Google Analytics. How did that person end up at your website? These reports can help to see if your marketing efforts are attracting new users or if people are coming back and you're re-engaging them from previous purchases. User acquisition gives you an overview of how they find your site. Is it from your email marketing efforts, your social media, and all of that? If we look at this and we slide down, it's hard to see this, but you can see 27,000 users came from the website, 3,800 came from a referring website, and 2,900 came via organic search. So 27,000 came directly to the website. So somehow they knew your name or saw your banner or were referred by someone and they put in your name of your business and they came straight there. Other people came from organic search. Other people came from a referring website. So that gives you an idea of what's driving your traffic. And it also shows you where they were right before they hit your website. So if you have a partnership and people drive traffic to your website and that you're monitoring that, and that's going well, definitely reach out to that partner and say, hey, things are going well. Appreciate your mention. Can you keep doing that? So Ricky and Eva, for example, might learn how people are located in the new markets are getting to their website. And that's going to be important in their decision making. Okay. Every referral to a website has a medium. In other words, whether it's organic, which means you didn't pay for that, CPC, which is cost per click, which means you paid for that, a referral, email, if it's and you have some custom name for that, or none. It's just direct traffic, and they knew your URL. Direct traffic means they knew your URL and they put it in, and that's how they got there. But every referral to a website has an origin. And so what did they come from, Google, or did they come from a different search engine or Facebook or whatever? All right. Engagement. What are they doing when they get to your website? So that's another section of the report area. You get a picture or story of how people are navigating through your site or your mobile app, how they interact with it. If you notice that they scroll down slowly or they spend a lot of time, they're probably reading your material. Are they looking at product details or spending time on a product page? Then they're interested in that product. They may not buy, but you have some interest. Are they watching an informational video? Are they only starting it and stopping it? Or are they actually spending time and watching most of that video? If everyone is you put a 3-minute video up and they make it to a minute and then they all leave, what's at a minute that is potentially dropping their interest? Or maybe a minute is all they can handle. So maybe you should try to condense all that information into 1 minute and cut out the rest. You can count a visitor as engaged if they last 10 seconds or longer, if they have 1 or more conversions, and or if they have 2 or more page views. So that's what you're looking for. They're on there 10 seconds or longer, they have a conversion event, or they have 2 or more page views. And you may think, that doesn't seem exciting that they looked at 2 of my pages. Well, it is exciting. That is considered an engaged consumer. Now you can decide how you want to track that and how you want to use these reports. All right, let's talk about Ava and Ricky again. If they wanted to say, try some content marketing, so they want to create videos with ideas for styling their clothes. They might use these reports to see how many people watch the videos for how long. And if their videos are popular, they're probably going to make more. But if they found people weren't interested in that content, they might switch to something else. Maybe they just want to see pictures. Maybe they don't want to watch videos at all or see pictures. But you don't want to waste your time creating content that people aren't interested in. And for sure, if they are interested in it and it's causing them to spend more time on your website, you definitely want to do more of that, for sure. All right, how we doing out there? Is everybody doing okay? If you have a question, stop me. I'm watching for comments to come across. Just let me know. I know this is a lot. I'm trying to get through it here so you can. I hope you're all enjoying your lunch. I'm going to try to move through. We're got a lot, but we'll get through here. All right, monetization. If you have an e-commerce site where you're selling things through the website, you can learn which of your marketing activities are the most effective by this monetization area. They tell you more than just if people are buying stuff. They show revenue generated from product sales from ads and subscriptions, number of views for each item you sell, number of ad impressions, and all that. You can see the ratio between views and purchases. It'll help you decide about content that you might want to post to increase sales. You might want to change product descriptions, product pictures. You might want to do higher quality photos. You might want to hire someone to do your photos. You might want to bundle products or rework your copy. But all of that can be seen in your monetization area. And so even Ricky really need this for their e-commerce website. So that's valuable information. All right, how loyal are your customers? This is the retention piece of this. How frequently and how long do they engage with your website or app? And how valuable are users after their first visit? So one of the things you should kind of long-term track in your business is the actual value of each customer, the lifetime value. So do they buy one thing and you never see them again? Do they buy multiple things? Do they buy accessories? Things like that. So you definitely want to track that. Do they come back pretty quickly? Do they never come back? So if, for example, Ricky and Eva have a big media event and they got 100 sales to new customers, that's awesome. But do they return later? Do they come back and buy more items? Of course, you want them to, because if their lifetime value is higher, then you don't have to get as many customers to make the same amount of money. If nobody came back, either your product needs to be improved or you have to find re-engagement opportunities. Do you send them follow-up emails? Do you send them emails about new products? How are you driving them back to your website? So that might be something to think about. Finally, there's a tech area, and that helps you see how your customers engage with your website. What devices and browsers are they using? It'll tell you. It's crazy. Do the apps and all your stuff work on all devices? All right. If you find out that a lot of people are viewing your website through a mobile device, you better be sure that your website is mobile friendly. It resizes, everything looks nice, the buttons are easy to click, the forms are easy to fill out. Because if that is not the case, then you're missing an opportunity if everyone's using mobile. And maybe you kind of started out by creating a website that is mobile friendly. And you confirm that was a good move because over 80% of the traffic is from a mobile device. So then that was smart. And you may want to think about even having your own app for your store. It's really easy these days to get an app created. So you may want to have an app. You know how you go to Lowe's site and then they go, wait, use the Lowe's app. Or you go to Costco, go use the Costco app. Or whatever. They always push you towards an app. Well, you can do that for your online sales as well if you've got a ton of people that really purchase via mobile. All right. Google Analytics search box. Let's talk about that quickly. Let's take a look at what that does for you. All right. The Google Analytics search box is designed to use plain language to help you find what you're looking for. It's a feature of Analytics Intelligence, and it wants to know how you need your data presented to you. So you can put everyday language into the search box and you'll get possible answers from your own data, including reports. Or you might get help articles of how to set something up, or you might get an administrative setting you need to do. So if you're not experienced with Google Analytics, at least try to put in your question in plain language. What does my website traffic look like presently? Or what is my website traffic versus this time last year? And it should point you to the right report. How do I set up another property? You can put that in there too, and it will then drive you to the help article to set up your properties. So that's really helpful. I forget it's there sometimes, but it's definitely the way to go. So you get your answers fast and instantly, just like Google search engine, okay? So you can get instant answers. You can get reports, admin pages or insights, and you can get account or property configuration and help center information. So if you want to know more about the search box, you can go to g.co/grow/AI. I have it covered up a little bit there with my face. Sorry about that. All right. We're kind of running out of time here. Let's go. All right. Once you start kind of getting a little more, comfortable with Google Analytics, you can get custom insights via Analytics Intelligence. So you can set up alerts when certain things change. You can have them emailed to you or just visit your account on a frequent basis. Insights section. You can click on the Insights section because that section is going to give you insights that Google thinks you want to see and that are important to you. That's also powered by their Analytics Intelligence tool. So it just detects changes or trends in your data, and it helps you spot these opportunities, especially if you're not really familiar with where should I look for what information. Starting out with, insights is really, really helpful. You can create up to 50 custom insights per property and then get all those alerts. So that's really important, and it helps you get the information that matters to you the most. You can use explorations, which is all the way to the left-hand side there, to access the segment builder and create subsets of users and sessions and events. So you can actually break down and create subsets of users, meaning a group within a group, to be able to see if certain demographic groups are reacting to your website and your products differently than other groups. It can help you guide your business plans. There's the big picture and story, and then you can get the mini tales, stories being told within that, which is really helpful. All right, we're almost done. We want to get back to Ava and Ricky and see what's going on with them and what they accomplished. All right, what did they learn? They had a SMART goal to increase the website traffic by 10% in 3 cities within 3 months. So by using Google Analytics, they were able to track and measure their progress. And there is great news. They did it. They showed that online traffic in all 3 cities increased by more than 20%. So they actually overshot their goal. But was that success? Well, that leads to the next question. Did that increased traffic actually mean more sales? Because if it was just more eyeballs, it may not have meant more sales. So they can look at Google Analytics for that as well. And it may reveal that actually 2 of the 3 markets had increased sales, but the 3rd market did not. So now they have some information, and they may want to pause their efforts in that 3rd city or try to adjust their marketing campaign, because obviously they got eyeballs, they just didn't get conversions or sales. So what could they do differently to do that? So they'll set another SMART goal, and they'll keep on iterating. All right, finally, you can partner Google Analytics with Google Ads. All right. So why would you want to do that? You can learn what happens after users click on your ad if you're using ads. You can advertise to special user groups based on their previous behavior. You can use advanced machine learning, and you can see what keywords are converting. Eva and Ricky use Google Ads to promote their products that they connect to Google Analytics, and then they learn what happens after they clicked their ad. It helps understand their paid ad visitor behavior, and clicking Google Ads and Google Analytics shows if clicks and ads translates to conversions. So with that info, they could run a separate promotion just for this audience, or they could encourage them to come back to the site and complete the purchase. So you can go to g.co/ads/help to search for remarketing, just to how to remarket to people that have clicked on an ad and come to your site. Now, I often get the question, should we pay for ads, Google Ads? If you are not posting anywhere else, if you don't have posts on Google Business Profile, and some other Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or any of those, if you're not posting on any of those free platforms, I would not invest in Google Ads, because you really need some practice posting ads and posting on these other platforms, and they're free. So you're getting free eyeballs, especially if you have a good following already. Post some ads on those sites, advertising your latest thing or your newest thing or your newest event or your newest service, so that you are not paying for ads until you're ready. Now, you can hook up your Google Ads because you do have some other tools that are nice, keyword lookup and things, if you hook those up, but you don't have to then buy ads and run ads. You can just hook them up. All right, I'm sorry, we're running behind. All right, you need accounts for Google Analytics and Google Ads. You click the admin tab in Analytics, and then you can scroll and add these different products. Feel free to do that, but some of the products are free and you don't have to run ads. You can just hook some of these things up for future use. It may take 24 hours before you see them hooked up. All right, we are really behind. I'm sorry I ran a little over. I'm just going to run through here. So what do you need to do? You need to set up Google Analytics to get the data running, okay? Then you need to set goals and test some strategies. Then you need to learn what's the most valuable to your business and measure the results. And then you set new goals and take new actions. Start easy, start small. I don't have elaborate Google Analytics set up, but I know my data is running and I can go look at that and cut it different ways at any time. If you have a question, feel free to post while I continue, because it'll take a minute before it posts, and then I can answer that here at the end really quickly. They have a lot of resources on Google. They have the YouTube channel. I have my YouTube channel. They have Google Career Certificates. There's free online training at google.com/grow. Plus, we have a lot of the recorded trainings I've done around the state that you can look at on the YouTube channel, Future Ready Consulting. And I just want to thank you so much for the opportunity to present to you today. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. I know it was a lot, but you can go back and look again and pause. If you want to join, I have a Google community that I run where I post Google things that come out. I answer questions. It's a closed community, so it's just us that have been participating in these events. So you can use that QR code to go to that. Click on your phone camera and just click on that QR code and join the community. Or I would love it if you would share a review if you enjoyed the presentation, if you got value out of it. If not, I completely understand, no problem, but that is the QR code on your right. And then, of course, you can contact me at janet@futurereadyconsulting.org if you have other questions. If you have any questions you want to post in the comments, feel free. I'm still here ready to answer them. I appreciate you so much. I hope some of you can get your analytics hooked up and find out what cool things you're doing on your websites and everything. All right, so thank you. And I'll leave this up for a second. And I will answer any questions if you want to go ahead and post them in the comments. So we'll give it 1 second here, let you post that. Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you spending your lunchtime with me today. I really, really hope it helped. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you asking and getting this all set up, Renee. Thank you. And encourage everyone else to come and watch the recording so that they can benefit as well. All right? Everybody take care and have a great rest of your day. See ya.